Alright, so I'm back again. Now we come down to the. Sorry, I'm trying to click back. We come. Missed that bridge. Now we're coming down to the bottom. Uh, oh, at the lower part of the road. But the bottom of the road. Now, mainly understand. My land starts from around about here, going up to the top of that ridge. His Majesty grew up in a place like this in Hahara, in Ethiopia. He said Bath looked very much like it. It's a place of a lot of hills and valleys, as I've shown you. From top of Kilichka, that's on a hill. This is in a valley. And we pray that there be peace in the valley someday. As you can see, it's very forested. It's very. England, you wouldn't find a place like that unless you're in a real forest. It costs a lot of money and time to clean up the whole of that if you're not making no gains from it. And for someone to require it, see, there's a coconut tree. A lot of it is bamboo, which would be good for certain things that we have in mind. There's a orange tree, but it's a sour orange. Better come out the road because we can come down the road now. From there, so you can see, this is a chocolate farm. This has been abandoned from before I come here. The owner of this place said you can store cocoa for up to 2 years. Now in the 80s I had a restaurant and I would get food from here for the Caribbean restaurant. But it perished, and to ship it and go through all that cost to bring it there, I don't know if it'd be much cheaper than the people who's already doing that. So we never bought it, even though I had a lot of the stuff I needed right here. Anyway, you can see this is going up to where the entrance and the bridges start. Yes, sir. Good morning. Grandfather owned this land from 1920s, maybe before that. He was born 1902, so he would have been about 21, 22. My argument always has been, is generations and generations going backward, all day going forward. I find that people in this kind of place did achieve more than the generations coming after them. Now, we own a land. I thought the best thing to do is put a section where we can have a park, because people tend to not have anything like that in the rural areas. You might find it in tourist areas. What this is where people are. The main thing with park is that it don't cost nothing to the child to go there. And as Bob said, we're looking at Jamaica is uprising. Not will, it's uprising. But who are going to uprise it? The youth then. That's all we say. So I look at my youth them and saw what I could enjoy as a child before I grew up to be a man. I learned to play music. I learned to play instruments. I learned art. I learned joy. I learned play. I learned drama. So don't look at the youth them driving the bike. There's no real law in rural areas. Now, as I say, you might say I've been here years and nothing done go on. So the local people I like to do a park. I brought all the stuff to do a park, but the customs took it because I never paid my bill. And it's a well-known story what happened when some African people sold the black people into slavery because they want to make money to live where they are. Then at the end of the day, when they finished selling all the slaves they got sold themselves. And then when they went to the Western world, they became just like the same slave masters, still making money for other races and keeping their own money. Well, that's your choice. As it's said there, after Moses came Elijah. I know. Joshua. Some stayed in Babylon system because that's what they required. This is a water pump around this side. It runs to the river. The idea of this is to cover the container with wood, like a wooden cabin, and build above it, maybe 2, 3 stories. This it went all the way to the road. We digged it down. Well, I can say I did with my digger. I'd like to put up a monument telling the story, like if you go to a museum or a park and you see a bench with a name on it. The persons who was already gone, but had a big part of this society. It's no different than I see in England or Canada or America. They are proud of their past. Now, I find the mentality of the people in Jamaica is that of the old-time slave. As I said, going back in time, 1700, there was just Europeans who was what they call pirating generally. That every nation want to fight other nation, Spanish against British, British against French, French against Germany. Because that seems to be the culture of what they are defending. Anyway, I'm trying to do a little swimming pool up there. You can see the pool. You can see the pool. Sorry, it's very nice here. That's the traffic pass here, going up the village at the back there. The front part, as I said, I got to do something to make money. So we're still studying fish, and we are a farm. And what we will be looking at is the amount of chocolate we got here is untenable. The chocolate just needs to be trimmed. The trees need pruning. Find me something to do that, yes, if you got money to pay them. This is a charity case. The donations I get mainly just cover my food. If it's a good time, I manage to buy a few blocks or cement. A lot of places like that in Jamaica. You could do a little bit at a time, little bit at a time, little bit at a time. But what I've got to do is unanimous amount of work. Now, there you see, and there you see, there are 2 serpents made out of rock. A red-eye one called envy. Because a lot of people are envious, like the old-time pirate, when they see somebody with something. And that's why this was a place of pirates. But who educated it? The black people pirates, right? Because they only think like one. Like the Caribbean people who, all African people in Europe now just think like they're European. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. Because you live in a much better life than people who don't have no progress because the opportunity doesn't exist. This is a red-eye. We call it a serpent, but it's not a Jurassic Park. See, they're not nothing in them brain except concrete and stone. They're not a living organization. Anyway, this is the path going into the park, taking you down to the river. And it is now known as Now Kellett's Beach. RC means Royal Crown. Riverside Front. Lay down your burdens here before entering our riverside. Bridgefield Park. Designed for the young and the elderly. Seeing? Anyway. It's nice to know that I don't have the responsibility of bringing up children. It was hard in my days. I know it's going to be hard in my children's and their children's children, especially if they're working for a system that would take your tax money, which means that every pound, 60% of that goes back in the system, and the other 40% of that is maybe to have your care or buy something or do something for yourself if you're lucky. Now people have to cut back on that because they find that money and the living cost is mad. Trying to explain to people, it costs me very little to live here. In basic terms, this is our river. Down there is my water pump. And up there is the way the hose goes up to put water up. So it doesn't really cost me for water. See? Like these people down the river I wash. Let me see if they want to wash something for me now. Yo! But you want to wash something for me too? You want to wash some clothes for me as well? I mean no! Is actually what I'm saying. Mr. Rich. This side is where the water pump pumps up the water into the water pump, and the water pump pumps it up that top of that here. Anyway, thank you for everybody who's donated and sent money to me and give me support and moral support. As I said when I came here, I thought I'd get a lot of assistance from what we was trying to do. But a vision come to me and a stone and show me by my own hands I have to make that happen. And as Marcus Garvey said, you have to be self-reliant. I said, well, how long is a piece of string? Because I'm self-reliant, but it's running out fast. Anyway, God bless you all. So that's on a video. I like to keep a track of what I'm doing. If you see from where I started from, you get to understand. It's a cat here already, sorry, that's why. And they might want to come down for food. See the water pump comes along here now. This is my river, and this is the path that takes you down to the river. That will be the swimming pool, seated area. Right now we're doing that as a pond for fish till I study 8 months till after fish I like to do. It's designed like that because when I finish the knowledge, I'd move the fishery and leave that as a small swimming pool area for the primary schools, and that is for the secondary schools, and myself obviously. See, cat area. Anyway, God bless you all. Keep strong. Remember, we are traveling people. This is like Ethiopia, as I said. I don't really truly feel at home when I go back to Ethiopia. But this is closer to that than where I was in Babylon.